Hello and welcome to today's quick video tutorial from sellhousefastguide.co.uk, and today we're going to be looking at how to value your property or your home if you may be considering selling at the moment, or if you need a quick house sale and you just wanted to get an idea of what the general guide or potential value of your home might be in the current climate. Now there's plenty of tools out there that you can use. Some are free and some are paid for. We're going to use the two main free websites and tools today, and this is just a quick tutorial to show you how to use those tools and what the information generally means. So we're going to start off with zoopla.co.uk here, and if we go to current values and UK property values. Now Zoopla's free estimate or free tool is literally just that. It's an estimate to try and give you a value of what you're potentially what your home might be worth. So it starts off with putting in your postcode here. We're going to use an example postcode for an area in Manchester in the northwest, and if you want to type your own postcode in there and then click search, and then what that'll do is it'll bring back all of the different figures and data that Zoopla has for that particular postcode and potentially what the valuations of the properties are going to be in that area. Now there's a lot of data on here that won't necessarily mean too much, and it might be a bit overkill for what we're looking to achieve today, and generally just to get an average guide for prices. At the top, here you can see this will list all different properties and prices in a particular area in terms of the types of properties, and again here just average values of property types in that particular postcode. We want to look at a bit more detailed in terms of the actual property addresses. So in this central section here you can see the property addresses, and then to the right you can see some estimates of what these values of the properties could potentially be worth. So how Zoopla creates these estimates is it takes into account the last sold price for the property and when that property was last sold, its date as well, and then it uses a couple of different calculations to get to what potentially the value of the property is today's date, and comes up with the estimate as you can see here on the right hand side. Now unfortunately with Zoopla's tool it's simply just an estimate, so because of that it can be quite wildly inaccurate for some properties, and it could overvalue or undervalue the properties depending on what data it's looking at. So for instance, as you can see here, you've got two similar properties, number 2 and number 6, that were sold in different years and for different prices, and because of that their Zoopla estimate is quite different. It's about £10,000 apart. So it's just really to show you that if you were just to use the Zoopla guide, it might give you quite a wild figure on what your value might be, so I wouldn't rely on that solely and just take it with a pinch of salt for the time being, but we're going to use that in connection with the Rightmove tool as well. So if you go to rightmove.co.uk and go to house prices and price comparison report, and then again type in your postcode. Now here you can put in some more filters if you wanted to, so you can look for properties just outside of that postcode to a certain radius. You can look at certain property types, and you can also look at a certain number of bedrooms. So I'd certainly recommend using that filter for your own search. We're going to leave them all as they are at the moment, simply because it will give us more data to look at. And it will just help better, it will just be easier for this guide to show you as much data or figures as possible. So if we click on start search, then that will bring us up the Rightmove price comparison report for this postcode. Now the main benefit of Rightmove over Zoopla's price comparison report is that Rightmove give you 4 main boxes really of data. So you've got properties that are on the market. If you scroll down a bit further, you've got properties that are no longer on the market, so they're properties that used to be advertised recently and have now been taken off, that maybe the seller isn't looking to sell anymore or couldn't sell. The most recent sold prices, and also some properties to rent as well if you're looking at rental comparisons. So some very good data here that Rightmove kind of give you as comparison figures. So first of all, the two main parts of this that really are worth taking into account. The first one is the on the market data. Now these are for properties that are being advertised for sale by local estate agents. So again, this data is really to be taken with a pinch of salt. It's not necessarily a definitive guide as to what your value is worth. These are just prices that properties are trying to be sold at with the local estate agents, and they might have been on the market for a couple of days, a couple of weeks, or months, or even kind of years at this price. They're just simply marketing prices that the agent is looking to sell for. So what we usually look to use that at is really as a guide to see potential values. But then if we scroll down a bit further and we look at the recent sold prices, this is really going to be the most accurate data that you can consider and look at to get the best understanding of what your home and property could be worth, really. So the sold prices, what you're looking for is a similar property that's to maybe on the same street or a neighbouring street as yours, with the same property type, condition, number of rooms, for instance, and then check when that property sold and how much it's sold for, and that will give you the most accurate data. If it's a recent sale within the last couple of months, that will give you the most accurate data of what a buyer is willing to pay for that type of property in that area. You can also click on this icon here, or this link, to go for more sold prices in your postcode, or if you go all the way to the top, house prices, and find sold house prices, you can see a lot more data of sold prices for local postcodes and property types and the years on when those properties were sold as well. So hopefully that's been helpful for you, and giving you a good idea of how to use these two websites and what to use them for. So for instance, Zoopla is mainly going to be just to get a quick estimate of what the price of the property could be worth, and Rightmove will give you comparables to back that up and to show you what properties similar in that area are being offered on the market for. And then further down you've got properties that are actually sold and what price they achieved, which is going to be the most accurate data to consider. So hopefully that's been helpful, and if you are actually looking for a quick sale and you do want to sell your property within a short space of time, then if you visit our website at sellhousefastguide.co.uk, on there we have an offer form that you can fill in. It'll take you about 10 seconds, and then we can go away and have a look and speak to our list of database of investor buyers and come back to you with the best offer we can within a period of 24 hours. So as I said, it's a very quick offer form, takes about 10 seconds, and then within 24 hours we can present you with the best offer from our database of investors to sell your house quick. So hopefully that has been helpful for you. Any questions, please feel free to drop us an email, and we hope to obviously help you out with our next tutorial.